Hello everybody, my name is Hocus Pocus and welcome to today's building tutorial. We are currently over in my Let's Play world and we are taking a look at my mob-based Shulker storage system just before we build it so you guys can get an idea of what this thing does and what it is. So this is how it looks from the outside, and as we approach you can see we have 5 different colours. Each colour represents a mob that will be killed in our mob farm over here. And then we filter all of the items into the different shulker boxes in order to allow us to store mob loot based on the mob type. So here is the white chest, which is for skeletons. Taking a look inside, you will see that we have arrows and bones. So without further ado, let's pop over to a creative world and get this build started. Okay, to get this build underway, you're going to require a certain amount of area. Firstly, you will definitely need a 3x5 area. And in the first row, you're also going to need an extra block on the right hand side, making the first row 4 wide. If you intend to add filters onto your system, you're going to need a 3x7 area, which you can see marked out by the grey wall here at the back. And that, of course, is only if you are adding filters, and we will be doing that today in our build. So first things first, you want to grab yourself a dispenser and place that in the ground like so that it's pointing up. Then you want to take an observer, place it facing towards the block above the dispenser. Then you're going to want to break the block behind the observer, break the block under the observer, place some redstone in under the observer. Then you want to replace the block behind the observer, place some redstone on the observer, and now you can place your shulker box. We are going to demonstrate with a skeleton filter today, and whoops, you can place that right over the top of the dispenser like so. And now whenever we break it, you can see the dispenser fires. And if we place some shulker boxes into the system like so, and place another one on top and break it, you'll see that it is replaced immediately and items can again begin filtering into the system. Alright, so now that we have the dispenser mechanism in place, you can go ahead and grab yourself some hoppers, some redstone comparators, redstone repeater, a single lamp, and some redstone dust. And you'll firstly want to place a hopper going into the back of the shulker box like so. Coming out from the hopper, you need a redstone comparator leading into a repeater. The repeater is going to run into a block, which is going to have a block adjacent or diagonal to it, diagonally left to it like so. And on top of this block here, you're going to place a redstone dust. Coming out of this block, you want a redstone repeater, which fires into a block and another block like so. And on top of these blocks, you want to place a piece of redstone dust, another repeater, and then you can go ahead and place a block above your shulker box, place your lamp in, and this block can go. So this is what your setup needs to look like at this stage. Now we can move on to installing some of the backup chests. So now that we have the redstone mechanism in place to indicate whether or not the shulker box is full, we can go ahead and install the buffer chests that allow us to store items in the system without depositing them immediately into the shulker box. So you want around 10 chests, I would recommend, but you can choose more or less depending on your decision really. So first of all, you want to place a double chest here, have a hopper coming into the left hand side of it. Then you want to keep stacking the chests like this until you have the amount of chests that you desire. As I said, I'm going to be using 10 chests. I feel like that is a sufficient amount for the system. And of course, you will be attaching this to some form of mob farm most likely. So it makes sense to have quite a few chests in the system like so. So now we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 chests in. And of course, you just want to have one hopper at the top so that we can connect our filtering system to the very top chest. And that will allow items to make their way down the structure and eventually into the shulker box at the bottom. So at this stage of the build, you should have something looking like this. At the moment though, it's of course only the bare bones of the build, and we will get into building a facade and a structure around it towards the very end. So the next step now is to create the filtering system if you require one. If not, of course, you can finish the build here. However, if you do want to build the filtering system, you need to bring yourself to the top. First of all, calculate how many drops you're going to get from said mob, so skeleton in this case, 2 for them, skeleton bones and skeleton arrows. So for that, you want to bring out a hopper like so. So this is going to be one filter right here, and then you want to make a 1 block gap between this filter and the next one by creating a structure something like this. And from this point, you can go ahead and build your filter. So to do that, you want to bring out 2 blocks from the back, a block underneath, and create a sort of ring that has a hole in the middle, as you can see. And then we'll do the same over here for this filter. So we want to do the same thing, create the ring and break out the middle. So from this point, you'll want to place a comparator right here on each side, and then you'll want to place redstone dust going down the back like so. In the middle, you need a repeater like that, so facing from this block to this block, and that can be the same on the other side as well. And to cap the filter off, you need to go ahead and place a torch in underneath like so. And then finally, the filtered hopper itself is going to be placed directly into the redstone comparator like so, and you have to make sure that the hopper itself is facing towards the comparator, otherwise this won't work correctly. As you can see, the hopper is facing towards the comparator in this build, and from this point on you can grab yourself some bones and some arrows and fill up these hoppers in order to filter them. So in order to filter the hoppers, you're going to require 22 at a minimum of each item that you're filtering into the system. So in this case we have bones and arrows, as you can see. I would recommend using 23 items though, and I'll explain why in a second. So the first thing you'll want to do is place 4 in a row like so. Place 1 back in your inventory and have 18 in the very left slot. And same on the other side. 1 back in the inventory, 18 on the very left slot. So in total you should have 22 in each hopper. Then you'll just want to put 1 in each hopper like so. And as you can see, it passes through the filter very nicely. But the reason why you want to do this is because this hopper beneath it will always have a buffer of 1 item. So if you don't pass this very first item through the filter, then next time you test this out, the first item that goes into the system won't make its way down into the shulker box. It will simply get stuck in this hopper. So I would recommend that you speed up the process ever so slightly just by adding in 1 extra item. Okay, so at this point your system should be looking something like what you see in front of you right now. And we can now go ahead and complete the last step before building the facade and the design work around the system. So you'll want to run water streams over the top of your filtered hoppers. These are the hoppers that have the 22 items in, as you can see. So what we're going to do here is just create a platform for the water to run across, like so. And then we'll just build up some walls around it. And of course, this water stream will run across your entire system. As you saw in my Let's Play world, I have many of these cells right next to each other, and the water stream is a singular one that runs across them all, bringing items from the mob farm down into the system. So we're going to place our water bucket here, and it's going to flow all the way to the end like so, and then we'll test this system out by placing a few items in. So bones and arrows should get filtered, and the rotten flesh should make its way to the end and just sit at the end of the water stream. So here we go, throw our bones in, and as you can see they disappear. Arrows should do the same thing, there you go, and then finally rotten flesh should make its way across both hoppers and right to the end for us to pick up once more. Okay, so now that you have all of this up and running, that is the main segment of the build. We will go ahead and show you some examples of how you can create a facade and some design work around this system. Okay, so now that we have a box full of drops here, we can just pretend that these naturally flowed into the system from our mob farm, such as it would in my Let's Play world, of course. And now that you have the box full, any more items that enter the system will be trapped in the hopper behind the shulker box. So let's go ahead and pop 2 more items in. There we go. Come back down to the system. And once they've made their way into the hopper behind the shulker box, which they can progress no further, as you can see, this light will turn on based on the redstone input from behind. So we can quickly take a look at that. So the comparator registers that there are items inside of the hopper, and that sends a signal all the way up to the lamp there. And the lamp will come on and indicate that this box is full and ready to be used. So just as a quick side note as well, I expanded the design ever so slightly. So if you guys would want to copy something like this, I just went ahead and used a white banner to fit the white skeleton theme as I did in my Let's Play world, and I just added in a few armor stands on either side with a skeleton head and some bone block as a sort of breaker between this system and the next system, which I guess would come somewhere over there if you were to build them in a sequence. So now that we've got all of that established, this is how the design is intended to be used. So you have your box full of goodies and you require maybe bones or arrows, but you need them elsewhere in your world. You can come up to the system, grab your shulker box, take it away, and then you can just place it down wherever you require it, and there you go, you have access to all of the items in your system. The next shulker box will be placed into position and items will begin flowing into it. So that is exactly how this is intended to work, and now the light has gone off, so you can tell that this box is not yet full. So one more change I would advise that you make is to grab a hopper, take out this center block here, and have a hopper leading into the system. And this is so that once you've used all of the items from your shulker box and it's empty once more or half full and you want to fill it back up, you can just chuck it back into the system. It will make its way back into the dispenser, and then when you break the next shulker box and the one you've just thrown into the system is next in line, it will be redeposited back into the system and it can begin filling up with items once more. So I do hope that you guys enjoyed what you saw today and that you find this build very useful. So far I'm finding a lot of use in it in my Let's Play world. It's filling my inventory or shulker boxes full of loot at the moment, and when I need them, such as using the gunpowder to craft rockets, I can take them down into my base and use it at my own will. If you guys did enjoy this video, then be sure to drop a like down below. Drop any comments or questions you might have about this build, any feedback, anything like that down below as well. And finally, if you're new around here or haven't subscribed yet, then be sure to hit that subscribe button. That'll be much appreciated by myself, and it will allow you to stay up to date with more tutorial videos I make, and also my Let's Play series if that's something you're interested in. So that's all from me today, you guys. Take care of yourselves, take care of your families, and I'll catch you all in my next video. Bye for now.